Welcome into another edition of Ozarks Gambling Gurus. I'm Scotty P, joined as always by Danny Handpay and Randy Murph and the Murph.
Hey
And
guys.
8-0
What's up,
Dan
guys?
Evans in the
8-0.
Ozarks Gambling
Hey,
Gurus
oh,
League.
and
8-0.
that's without my starting quarterback.
Yeah. I looked a little bit at your roster. This is bye weeks hit this week. Did you know that?
I did. I think we'll be strong enough. I can lose 4 in a row.
There you go. Bye weeks are going to be a problem with all the injuries for everybody right now. And if you've not watched this podcast, we talk a little bit everything from casino games to sports betting to fantasy football. If you can lose money at it, we talk about it. And tonight,
I think every week is a bye week for Murphy.
Yes, nice. We're going to talk to Jay Stevens, the morning DJ at the Cave, 104.7 The Cave, and he's the lead singer for Machine Gun Symphony. As I said in the Facebook post, the only other guy in the Ozarks other than Murph that has women put dollar bills in his waistband when he's up on a stage. But Jay's going to join us about 9:10 here in just a few minutes to talk about gambling on cruise ships. He's kind of become a master at how to go on a cruise, gamble enough to get another free cruise, and just keep doing that. And I didn't know that was a thing. And then actually a friend of mine, Joe Green, popped in on a comment there and said he does it too. So we may bring him in a few weeks from now and kind of go over that again. But apparently, if you spend enough money gambling, it's kind of like you guys getting free toasters and stuff at Downstream and Indigo Sky and those places, free Red Oak Steakhouse dinners and rooms and whatever, vacuum cleaners, whatever they give you and stuff. But the awards are plentiful, I guess, on the cruise side of things too. Then at 9:30, Jim the Cat Horton is going to join us, MLB guru. I guess we call the guys we have on junior gurus, maybe, or would he be senior baseball guru? Dan?
He'd have to be the senior
baseball guru. But Jim's going to come on and talk MLB playoffs, how to bet it. I don't mess with baseball and the betting on the sports side; it's just too iffy, But and honestly, I tried to watch a little bit last night. I'm just not a baseball watcher. I cannot sit and watch 3 hours of baseball because it just moves too slow.
You got to bet on it.
Well, if you do, but then you're just prolonging the agony too if you're doing that. But it just, and I know they're doing things now to what, pitch clocks and all that. It still seems like it's an eternity between pitches. And, so I don't know. I'm trying. I've got the Reds Dodgers on now down here in my man cave watching that, or at least have it on. So we'll see. But Jim's going to come on with us, talk about the MLB. And then, Dan, you said he just completed a tour of all the parks?
Yeah, last summer I think he finished that. It's kind of a good story. And he also, and I don't remember the time of the year, he goes to a big fantasy baseball meeting every year. I think out in Arizona, but we might ask him about that too.
Okay, kind of like a convention, or is it a
draft? I honestly don't know. It's costs more than I can afford, so I've never asked about it.
Well, I'm looking at the score. So Cleveland even that series with a 6-1 win against Detroit, tied 1-1. We're in the wild card round here at the very start. Looks like the Padres beat the Cubs 3-0 to even that series at 1-1. And then the Yankees rallied to beat the Red Sox 4-3. That series is 1-1. And then
so we have 3 game 3s tomorrow. So that's good. Tomorrow's cool. A good afternoon. Yeah. Maybe you'll watch then.
I might. That might be good. Today's my daughter's 19th birthday. Happy birthday to her.
Congrats.
But I actually have to grill for about 10 girls tomorrow. They're coming over tomorrow instead. So probably not a lot of baseball watching there. And then the Reds lead the Dodgers 2-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
Ooh, okay.
Won game 1 in that one. So we could have 4.
I love it.
Game 3s. That'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, Murph, you were out in Vegas over the weekend.
Went to Vegas. Yeah. This Friday through Monday, went out to catch the Raider game. It was a great trip. And even the game was great. It's the best Raider game. I've been out. I think this was my 5th one. And besides the first one, which was the Raven game on Monday night, and it was the first time they had a crowd at Allegiant. Other than that one, this one was a really great game, but just the ending sucked. So, other than that, everybody else, we had a great time. Had lots of dinners. Went with my friends Dan and Michelle, and my girlfriend Alicia. Had a lot of great dinners. Spent the last night trying to get my money back. Stayed all night at the Nugget playing Texas 1-2 at the Nug till probably 10:30 the next morning on Monday morning, and we flew home at 4. So I had to get my money back somehow. So I got a little bit back.
What kind of mood are you in when you're up all night gambling and you come back the next day?
It was rough, and it gets harder and harder the older I get. So Alicia was telling me I wasn't looking the best at lunch before we went to catch the plane. She said I was a little pale and my nose was purple.
We should have her on to talk about these trips.
Oh, I'll have her on.
That'd be good. So I went to Kansas City, had a friend's 50th birthday party up there. We stayed at the Ameristar. First time for me there. Nice casino. I really like they've got the Caesar's Palace Forum deal where you've got a, kind of a city landscape and the casino's on the left and all the restaurants are on the right. And they've got the fake sky, when you're walking down through there, and really nice sports bar. We actually went there for dinner for the birthday and was able to watch the end of the Ryder Cup on Saturday and football everywhere. But the gambling wasn't good. I think there were 9 of us there and nobody won anything. The slot machines, man, they seem tight. And Saturday night in Kansas City, they probably are tight, aren't they, Dan?
I think so. They're always tight, I think. But
yeah. Anytime I go see a Cardinal game in St. Louis or in Kansas City for a game and stay at the casino the night before, slot machines are just. I don't think I've ever hit a jackpot in a Missouri a Missouri casino slot. Have you, Dan?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Aren't they required to give? They have to give back X percent of winnings, don't they? Just like everybody else.
They're regulated. They're supposed
to.
Yeah.
So who's getting that, and when's it happening?
Well, it's just like everybody's required to pay federal taxes too. Sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, and Dan, you took a weekend off from gambling, is that right?
I did. I'm pretty deep in my volleyball season. Don't my school, but we're as a program right now. We're 48-4 for the season, our freshman JV and varsity team. So
wow,
we've got a pretty target here going for the next 4 weeks. So that's pretty much my focus right now. I did read a little bit. We got some big monster truck giveaway coming up the 25th of October at Downstream. A new Ford Raptor truck. I think those, Randy, those close to $100,000 truck probably.
I would think so. I got something today about a BMW. Is that also at Downstream?
I didn't get the BMW. I just got the monster truck.
You must have got the monster truck. I got the BMW thing. I think that's Downstream.
I got something about the Jeep Bronco. I think, wasn't it?
You ever gonna let that go? Come on.
The hybrid that they put together down there.
Hey, stop living in the past, man.
I think we may make an Indigo trip next weekend, not this coming one, but the next, for a little Mack County visit down there.
They have Friday nights in October. I think every 30 minutes they're giving away, or they call your name, and you win up to $750, I think, and then.
Is that Indigo?
Yes, that's at Indigo. Then at some time on a Friday night, you can win up to $10,000. So they've got some pretty good drawings coming up too.
Awesome. Well, we'll check that out. The Ryder Cup. Did you guys watch it at all over the weekend?
Very little.
Yeah,
I watched it until they were just getting their asses kicked, and then I was in the sport book, started watching college football. So that's about all But they made a comeback, right? A little bit.
They did, and that was the weird thing is Sunday when we got back from Kansas City, I came down to my cave here and was watching Red Zone channel. I flipped over to watch, see what was going on. And the whole screen which was the U.S., red or blue?
Red.
Yeah. The whole screen on the right side was red. And, it's like one of those things like, okay, there's no way, but let's just see how far this goes. And it got interesting down to the very end. But, it was kind of sad that the U.S. let it get to that point. I like the Ryder Cup. I think that, if you got players that play with passion, but our fans are idiots there, you know?
That's
Yeah.
the part about the Ryder Cup I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Murph, you would fit in well at a Ryder
I
Cup,
would.
I think.
I
Yeah.
would. That or
First
the
largest thing.
waste management or the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
I'd love to go see
Yeah.
that.
Hey, I have got our special guest. I'm gonna bring him into the picture. Captain Jay. What's going on, Jay? How are you?
Ahoy, mateys.
Hey,
What's up, Jay?
You know, I like it. He comes on to talk cruises. He looks like Captain Steubing from the Love Boat, right?
Well, I knew one of you action junkies was going to have the over-under if I'd have a shirt on or not, so I figured I'd let you win that bet.
Dan, you have a proposition for Jay, don't you?
I do. Jay, we're wondering here. We like to do good things for the community. How much money would we have to raise that we would give to a charity of your choice to let Randy on stage, shirtless, and sing a song with you guys?
Oh, we can do that. We can do that anytime.
I bet
Right,
you'd
Randy.
make more. I bet people would pay more to have me not do that, Jay.
We'll have two buckets. One will be for you to stay on stage, and one will be for you to go.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work.
That
Here's
might
the
be
do
fun.
and here's the don't buckets. Yeah, but
Yeah.
well,
The don'ts will win.
you know, I started doing the Ozarks around the Ozarks sports scene podcast about 3 years ago, maybe, and for about a year and a half, I was technically challenged, and I would have to go into the studio, and Jay would have to let me in the door, walk me back to the studio, set me up. He's like, "Can this guy not figure out how to do this from his own house?" And
Well,
finally,
now I miss not seeing you.
I know, and it was fun. We talk about, you know, he was always on a cruise somewhere coming up, and with his daughter or his girlfriend, and we talk about that, and we talk about where the next gig was. Talk about when he might actually wear a shirt again. They make you wear a shirt at the station, right? Why is that?
I don't. It's not like a hard fast rule, but you know, it's hard to be Jay 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I get that. Well, we want to, you know, you and I talked a lot about when you'd done the cruises, and you talked about gambling in the casino on the boats, and how you have a little bit of a system going where if you gamble enough, you get free cruises, and we want to know more about that. So tell us how that works.
Yeah, basically, well, they don't make much money off the paying customers. They make most of their money off the casino people. So they want you to keep coming back. And the easiest way that most people will do it is slot machines, because you can just push a button and you don't have to do any thinking. But the house edge on slots is just insane. So, you know, once in a while somebody might hit a jackpot, but for the most part, you're going to lose a lot. But if you play games like roulette and craps, you can lower the house edge a lot. I mean, with some crap strategies, you're lowering the house edge to less than 1%. You know, and so you get the more you bet, the more points you rack up, the longer you play. And they send, I mean, weekly, several times a week, they'll send email offers. Balcony rooms for two people, suites for two people. A lot of times they include free play with that, you know. So we're going on that new boat, Star of the Seas, in 2 weeks, me and the girlfriend, for 7 nights, the Virgin Islands. And that would have been like a $5,000-$6,000 trip, but I think that we paid $346 for the two of us. You just got to pay
Holy
taxes.
cow!
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so you're using. We went on a cruise out of Galveston back in late May for my son's 21st birthday.
I remember.
I am one of those people that the first night we're there, I hit a $575 slot payout.
Yeah, here you go.
And I couldn't run to that cashier quick enough to get that cash. And then I played free for the rest of the week. And it probably made them mad because they weren't getting it back. And I think you use your cruise card, don't you? Just like you do at a casino.
Yeah, CPAS. And the trick on that is to attach a travel credit card to your account, because then you also will rack up credit card points.
Oh, wow.
That's
Well, what I'll do
deadly.
is I go, what was that?
I said that's deadly. I've been on.
Well, here's the deal, because what I would do is I'll go first night and I'll buy in for 4,000. And if you're a certain level of gambler, they don't charge you a fee to cash advance. So 4,000, and then I'll try to do a couple of those throughout the cruise. They're kind of catching on to that trick, but a lot of times, you know, I'll cash out, and so I'll have like $8,000 to pay back to my card when I get back, but I just keep the money, and as soon as I get back on land, I just redeposit it. So if you're getting 3x points on a credit card, you know, that's like you know, 20,000 credit card points, which however you can turn that into. I mean, you're gonna that's at least $200 value, but you could probably get $400 value out of that. You know, so
Yeah.
a lot of times the flights can end up being free from the credit card angle.
Wow.
Oh, you
So
got this thing
how
figured
much
out.
how much does somebody have to bet or gamble on a cruise to get a free cruise for the next time?
Well, that's where if you're playing slots, you get 1 point for every $5 you cycle through the machine. If it's video poker, it's 1 point for every $10 cycle through. When it's table games, that's a little trickier because there's the human element. They have to rate you. So people will complain. You'll see in these chat rooms, everybody be like, oh, you can't get any points playing table games. But no, you can, but you can't go up there and play a $10 hand of blackjack and expect a free cruise. You know what I'm saying? You have to bet big and play for a long time.
Yeah.
So what I do is whether it's roulette or craps, both of them I'll play a comp point system, which is basically you have a lot of money out there, but you're not winning or losing a lot. The money just kind of goes in a big circle. You know, it looks like you're playing a lot, but really you're not going to win or lose very much. A terrible cruise, you might lose $1,000. A good cruise, you might win 1,200. You know,
What's the
but
most you won on a cruise ship?
well, the most I won, I think, well, the last one I was on was a 3-day, and it was with my daughter, and so she would ditch me at night for the teen club. So I put in a lot of gambling time. I think I played on a 3-nighter. I think I played 20 hours, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Craps for 20 hours. Well, some of that was roulette. I played, I think, 2 hours of roulette, and then craps because when they give you free play, like every cruise, they'll give you some free play, and so I think I had 500 free play on that cruise. And so in order to get rated on the free play, you got to kind of slide it in on the on roulette. You can hide it with some of your bets slowly to get rated on. Otherwise, you won't get rated on free play. But that was a massive cruise. But I think I came back with $2,800 that trip. But that was the best one, you know. Usually it's close to break even, or you know you lose 1,000 or you gain 1,000 or a couple $100.
Or
But a
and
lot of
another
free
free
cruises.
cruise coming
Yes.
up, right?
When you
Yeah.
get one on that cruise, you'll get instantly, they'll hand you one right there, a list to choose from with free play usually to pick. But then they start sending you weekly offers every week, several times a week. They just fill your email box with cruises for two, balcony rooms for two, suite for two.
Hey,
Jay,
Jay. Oh,
Jay, you're going into a craps table. What kind of a bettor are you?
Okay. Oh, that's what I was going to get to. Sorry, that's where I was going to. So the way to ensure you get rated well is as soon as I walk up, I hand them my card, my little CPAS card, and I say, I want $4,000. And so that right away, they have to get the main man. He's got to come over. He'll size you up. He'll look, take your card. He'll go look in the computer, probably at what your betting has been like, and then he'll bring it back. And then I say, I want it all in black chips, $100 chips. That's all. So then they know right away, okay, this guy's definitely betting at least $100 every time he bets. And so what I do is and then when he comes back with that, I say, hey, I'm betting $300 a shooter all night long. And I just tell him that's what I'm betting, and that's what it's going to be all night. So he doesn't have to think or look. He'll probably look a few times to make sure I'm telling the truth, but they just know, okay, $300 a shooter, and then unless I change my bet, but I won't do that. So that's 300 points an hour, basically.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
on that $300, are you betting $100 pass line and then double odds?
Yeah, I play all dark side, a 3-point dolly, if you're familiar. So it's the first one's a don't come, and I mean don't bet, don't pass, and then a don't come and a don't come, and then I just leave that until that 7 comes or till they pick off my bets. And if it's a long shooter, he might pick off my 300. I'll just wait for the next guy.
So
But
you're that guy at the table that a lot of people give dirty looks to.
he's the don't. He's the
which
don't
is weird, but because it's people get super superstitious,
Oh, yeah.
you know. But I mean, I'm like the life of the party when I get there, so they can't be too mad at me, you know. Everybody knows me. By the end of night one, everybody will know who we are, man.
Hey,
Between me and the missus showing up, I mean, it's
how long have you been doing the cruise thing?
When I started actually really gambling for cruises would have been 4 years ago, I think. How 4 years ago, babe? Yeah, I think 4 years ago.
And how did you find out about this system? Just by trial and error? That
How did I find out about it? Well, like about the free cruise things, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess just being on there, they promote it pretty well.
Do they?
Yeah. And so we went on when we first started dating, we went on a Carnival cruise because the Royal Caribbean fell through. They canceled the cruise or something. But then from that one on, the next one we went on was Royal, and I said, all right, this is what we're doing. And I got her doing it too. So she gets offers too. And so you can combine your offers. If you both get a balcony, you can combine your offers and get a suite. And so what we really do, what really is a scam, is I play the dark side. She'll play an iron cross. So if I'm losing, she's winning. If she's losing, I'm winning. So
Wow.
But you're getting all those comp points. So
we're both
yeah, I
racking
get
up
it.
comp points, yeah,
Yeah.
and having a good time. I mean, it's very entertaining on the craps table. See, the thing with slots too is you're just sitting there by yourself, kind of mindless. Craps table and roulette, it's a party, man.
It is a party. What's your
And you
favorite
get some
cruise line?
characters too.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. Royal Caribbean or Carnival? Is one better than the other for gambling?
I don't think for gambling. I think it's Carnival cruises are cheaper, so it's probably easier to get some free cruises with them. But Carnival is also a little more bootleg, in my opinion. I kind of describe it as Walmart to Target. It's not like it's a lot nicer, but something's nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went on Royal Caribbean out of Galveston, and honestly, we thought the food was better on Carnival.
Did you?
We've done both, and we've done 2 Royal Caribbeans. But so let's talk about Machine Gun Symphony. How long has the band? How long have you been with the band?
I've been with them 2017. I started singing for them.
Okay.
I moved out here in 2013, and when I moved here, I kind of looked because I was doing this stuff in LA and things like that. So I looked who was doing things, and I saw them, and I said, "Oh, that's the same stuff I do." So I emailed them videos of me and kind of said, "Hey, I'm new in town. I'm a singer. If you ever need a fill-in, I know all the songs." And that email went right to their singer, so he deleted it. Singers don't like other singers poking around. But then later they went through some changes and needed a guy, and I was the guy, and so I've kind of revamped it, and it's bigger and better than ever.
What's
It is.
Go ahead, Dan.
If you had one song to play, what song would you
The funniest thing is that the biggest banger song we do every night, it used to be like Paradise City or Living on a Prayer, but now we added, which isn't even an 80s song, but we added Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry. And that one is, as soon as we hit that, it's just insanity.
It's my kind of music.
Yeah.
What's the one song that puts dollar bills in your waistband?
Oh, pretty much all of them. Pretty much all. I mean, some nights it's better than any casino some nights.
Hey,
the
can you guys?
The ATM's right down there.
Can you
Does your
guys
girlfriend
play
go to
the
the
Super Bowl?
shows or not?
What? Yeah,
Does
she
your
goes to
girlfriend go to the
shows.
shows?
She has a harder job than me. She has the hardest job trying to watch all these crazy hoes, right? She said she's not coming on the podcast because she just got out of the shower.
Okay.
Sorry, I tried to get a cameo for you guys.
Dan,
I thought this link was Scott's OnlyFans. I'm actually a little bummed that this is actually.
We need to get Dan to set up win a trip with Jay and Murph to Downstream.
We do.
There, let's do it. We
That'd
love
be
going
perfect.
out there.
That'd
Funny
be
story
perfect.
about Downstream. We don't gamble as hard out there because they send us free rooms for just barely gambling there. That's pretty easy. And so we'll go out there a lot, and we'll be there late partying. And we were there on her birthday last December, and I was just barely playing, and she was kind of playing more. I was having a good time, and they have this, this side bet. You put a couple bucks out there, and you got to hit all these numbers in order to win like 400 times your money or whatever it is, And so she put it out there. She's doing it. And she's playing, and it's filling up, and she's down to the last number of this to hit this big bonus. And sure enough, she hit that thing, man. And so they had to roll the tape to make sure everything was legit. They paid her. She was screaming like you would have thought she won $1 million, man. I don't know what it was, probably just a couple $100, but she did it. She hit that.
Dan
Was
calls
it on
that crazy.
craps?
Yeah.
On craps.
Yeah, so she hit the all talls and smalls is what she
ATS
was
or whatever
betting.
it is. Yeah,
all talls and smalls.
She did
Great
it.
bet.
She did it. Sure enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, I've never seen anybody win that. So,
Oh, yeah.
whoa. Yeah.
Jay, tell the folks what shift you're on the Cave and how
Yeah,
long.
afternoons on the Cave, Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, and then every weekend machine gun shows somewhere. So come on out, and
Where are
maybe
you
you'll
this
see
weekend?
me on a cruise sometime. Come and join me.
Where are you this weekend? You got a gig?
This weekend we're in Rolla Saturday night, and then Lake of the Ozarks the following Saturday, and then I'll be on a cruise for 2 weekends basically. So we'll be back in Springfield on Halloween night at Southbound.
Nice. Do you do any of the
Perfect.
casinos?
No, they won't. They don't really. They've offered us, but I'd have to wear a shirt and I'd have to not drink. So
Got rules. All these stupid rules,
yeah,
right?
we do really well. We do plenty shows. We do about 50 shows a year, and that's plenty for us. We're not looking for. We're not hurting for shows. So
Well, good deal. Well, hey, come back and see us again. We'll bring you back. Jay, thanks for your time, man.
hopefully, I'll have a good story after this cruise on this Star of the Seas, this brand new ship that we're going on. Hopefully, I'll come back with an even better win for you guys, or a
Awesome.
terrible
We'll
loss.
bring you back. Thanks, sir. See you.
See you
See you,
guys.
Jay.
That would be fun having him and Murph go down together to downstream.
I got a
Great
party
trip.
with that guy.
Yeah. Murph, I think you two would be dangerous together, honestly.
Yeah,
you know?
we'd end up in jail. I mean, why can't they play the Super Bowl instead of Bad Bunny? I mean, that would be perfect. But
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Bad Bunny. I saw that. I'm like, I saw him in what, the Happy Gilmore movie? Happy Gilmore.
I guess that's
2?
what they said. I didn't watch all of it, so I missed
Yeah,
that part.
so-
We're just
So were
too
you
old.
guys aware of all that with the cruise ship and how that worked?
A little bit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why they come to casinos, because they want gamblers. That's, like he said, that's where they're making their money. And so they want to recruit people that gamble. So that's why they offer these great deals in casinos.
Yeah, and you know I guess I still don't understand how much you have to bet probably to get a cruise. Do you guys
Or just look like you're betting a lot. Just he's working the system. It's great. Just he goes in, he buys in, he gets all black chips.
I think it's extreme. If you're in that middle level, even I think you can. They have a night where they give away cruises down there.
Yeah.
But
Oh, really?
here's the only thing I know for sure: it's going to take more than betting 30 cents a push for $5 per machine.
Scotty P's going to have to loosen up.
They probably were mad when I took my $5.75 and ran straight to the cashier at night.
They're
too.
probably like, "Good, just get out of here. Get somebody else in here that'll gamble."
Yeah, we would say thanks to Jay for joining us, and now we segue to
Look at
our other
this.
guest, our senior MLB guru, Jim Cat Horton. Jim, can you hear us?
I can.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello, hey Jim.
Hey,
I don't know if you heard that last segment, but you ought to go on a cruise and get free cruises for gambling. Is that up your alley?
I get a black chip, put it on the table. I go into cardiac arrest.
Hey, Jim would not like standing next to Jay, who's playing the don't all night, would you, Jim?
I'm looking for that $5 craps table is what I'm looking for.
Not many of those, right?
Not many
No.
left.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we wanted to talk about a couple things with you. You know, we brought Phil Montgomery on a couple times to talk college football. Murph, you said he did well this last weekend, right?
Yeah, his 4 teams, he went 3 out of 4. Lost. His only loss was over on the Ole Miss game. So
And
not
then
bad for old
Made
Phil.
up for the first time because I think the opening
Yeah.
week he went 0-4 maybe or something.
0-4. He might have hit one, either a whiff or hit one. So yeah, he needed that.
But Jim, we wanted to talk to you about the Major League Baseball playoffs. We got 3 series that are tied 1 apiece, and if Cincinnati wins this game tonight against the Dodgers, you got 4 game 3s tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really not a fan of these 3-game series. You know, they play all the games at one park, and I think it's weighted pretty heavily to the home teams, although so far it's been pretty even.
Do you bet much baseball?
Yeah, I bet some baseball. I probably bet more pro football. I bet a lot of prop bets in pro football. I like those a little better than the game bets. And, I think you can search for good lines and you can come out that way. Baseball, I'm looking forward to when, FanDuel gets in Missouri and gives a few more options than what I currently have.
Do you are you a DraftKings or a FanDuel guy for DFS?
I do FanDuel. They've got a new thing called Pick Six. I
Yeah.
do a little bit of that, and then a little bit of Underdog has some prop bets. No game bets yet.
Yeah. So you're eagerly looking forward to that December 1st when we can do it from our recliner, our couch, wherever, not have to drive to Kansas, right?
That is correct.
Hey Jim, what's different if you're looking at baseball betting? In your mind, is it as difficult as football? Easier?
Well, I think baseball is a lot about pitching matchups.
Starting pitching. Yep.
Football, pretty well know what the team is going into the week. And, you've got to factor in injuries and so forth. I think injuries are a lot bigger factor in football than baseball. But baseball, you need to do some research about the starting pitchers, the bullpen usage the previous two games. If a team's used their good relievers the previous games, that may be an indication that they're not going to use their good relievers that game. But it's about starting pitching matchups, although that's not as big a deal as it was, 20 years ago.
Right.
Because most starters, if they get 5 innings out of them, they're usually pretty happy.
Is postseason baseball easier to bet than regular season?
No, I don't think there's a lot of difference.
Okay.
I think, managers manage a little different in the postseason. I think you saw that the San Diego game today when they took Dylan Cease out in the 4th inning. You wouldn't see that in the regular season in a low-scoring game. I think, the Yankees got some criticism when they took Fried out when he had a shutout working. But that's postseason baseball. A lot of times these managers get 4 innings in and then it's turned over to the bullpen. And I think baseball in general has become more of a bullpen game than it is a starting pitching game.
And like tomorrow is going to be all hands on deck, pretty much, isn't it? For these game 3s that we have going.
Yeah, they'll
as far as pitchers.
Of course, it's not like their starting pitchers. The first 2 games can come back like you see in the World Series. You'll see a starting pitcher, especially if there's been a couple of days rest, that can come back on short notice. But Red Sox are starting their rookie early, which that'll be quite an experience for him, starting. And but they'll manage it pretty close to the vest. You're also looking at teams probably 3rd best starter. You don't have Crochet, you don't have Fried, you don't have some of those frontline starting pitchers going. So I would look for an average of about 4 innings a start in the games tomorrow.
Who do you like in both leagues to wind up in the series and take it all?
In which one?
Both leagues, and then who takes it all in the series?
Well, I think you have to look at the home teams. I think the Red Sox missed a chance today to end it. I think the Cubs and San Diego are matched pretty evenly. I don't think Cincinnati can hang with the Dodgers.
If you had to pick one team right now, maybe that might be an underdog to win the World Series, who would you look at?
Well, I like Milwaukee awful well. You can't really consider them too big of an underdog because they had the best record in baseball. But their starting pitching is good. Seattle's starting pitching is real good. Seattle has 3 outstanding starters. So I think those 2 teams. I'm not a big market fan. I'm not a big fan of the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets. Of course, you don't have to worry about the Mets, but I like Milwaukee, but not from a betting standpoint as much. I just like the way they play ball. They do it without a lot of expenditures. They spend less than the Cardinals, and they seem to get a little bit more out of it. And I think that's good. I think Cleveland plays the right way. Cleveland just doesn't have enough hitting, and I think Detroit will win that one.
Jim, I know that you've been a long time fantasy baseball player. I'm still in a couple leagues. I know you play in multiple leagues. It seems like it's harder and harder now to find guys willing to play fantasy baseball, whereas everybody and their brothers in multiple fantasy football leagues. Is it the length of the season that basically kills that for most people?
Yeah, I think the length of the season is a big thing. Plus, most leagues anymore are daily changes.
Yeah.
And, you're looking at daily changes 162 times a year. And a lot of people, that doesn't bother me. I'm retired. I've got plenty of time. But it's a huge commitment. Football, number one, the season's not very long. You just got to worry about lineups once a week. And it's really easy, when you use a draft software, it's easy, because they're telling you who the next best player is. And, people can get on there and they can follow what the computer says, and they probably have as good a chance to win as anybody else. Baseball's a long grind. I find I'm in two leagues. One is 13 teams, one is 12. We used to have people waiting in line to get in, but that doesn't happen anymore. It's a hard fantasy baseball is hard. Now I'm in 5 or 6 leagues, and it's not much harder for me to do 6 leagues than it would be to do 2, because you're doing the work and you're following what's going on. And that's another thing when you draft. You're drafting 26 players a team. Football, what do you draft? 13. And once you get a tight end, you don't have to worry about any other tight end in the league. You get your quarterback, you don't worry about any other quarterbacks, and you just go on.
And to think that it all started, at least for me, in a Rod Towel keep everything on paper league back in the 90s with you and Dan. You were in that, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm a former champion of that league.
Yeah. And
Dan, I think, won the league when he drafted Maury Wills, who'd been out of the league about 20 years.
Oh, no, I drafted Bump Wills.
Yeah. Was that your first league, Jim, or not?
I think Dan and I were in 1985.
Yep.
We drafted 9 players. No, you picked 9 players and you had them the rest of the year. We drafted after about 2 weeks, Lloyd Mosby had 9 home runs, so I picked him. I think he ended up with 13. And we got pretty serious the next year, 87. I was in a league we had 6 guys. We had 1 book. We passed it around and picked players out of the book. Any more people come in with laptops, 3 magazines, 20 pages of sheets they've run off. I mean, it's people that still do it, prepare well. And that's another reason that some people don't do it, because it's some work to get ready for baseball.
Dan was telling us today, we were talking amongst ourselves, that you recently completed a visit to all the Major League Baseball parks. Tell us about that.
Well, I'd been to several along the way. Some I'd go to baseball cards and do some and so forth. And probably about 7-8 years ago, I decided I'm going to try to get them all. And there's a group called J. Buckley Tours that run either 5-day, 7-day, 10-day trips, and you go to different ballparks. And I went on one on the East Coast and picked up 3 or 4 parks, and then went on one on the West Coast. We did all the West Coast, all the way up to Seattle, and got those in. My son, for Father's Day, flew me to Atlanta, and I picked Atlanta up. And then a buddy of mine, we went to Miami one year, and then the next year we went to Texas and Houston, and finished them up. And it was the one regret I have is I didn't get to Montreal, before they were gone. I've liked to have gone there. I sort of we talked about going to Sacramento, maybe to try to get a game there. We talked about going to Tampa to watch Tampa play in the Yankees minor league park, but I don't know that I will do that. And of course, we'll need to get Las Vegas in 3 or 4 years. hopefully that, or I would hope that they get that done. So
Now that you've seen all of them, your 3 favorite and your 3 least favorite parks.
well, the least favorite probably is Oakland. The weather, all when you go in the summer, the weather there at night is horrible. Tampa, is not very good. Let me think. That's probably the 2 that I would rank near the bottom. I don't know that I can think of a third offhand. My favorites are probably, my favorite is Pittsburgh.
Really?
When you come into the stadium, you come across a Clemente Bridge, and it's a beautiful view. They have great concessions in there, and there's not a huge crowd either, and that helps too. Second favorite, probably San Francisco. I never got the Candlestick, which I regret because I was there one time and didn't get it done. But San Francisco's nice, and then probably Colorado. Simply the view out there is great, and but there's a lot of good parks. Baltimore's good, Cincinnati's good, but it was a fun endeavor that I've got a buddy, John McGovern, in Excelsior Springs, and he and I did a lot of them. I think he still needs 3 or 4 to get all of his in.
Where do Busch Stadium and the K fit in? Upper 15 or upper 6? Is it 32 or 30 on baseball? 30?
Yes, 30.
Yeah, upper
And
15 or lower?
Probably about the middle. And I'm not a very good judge because those are parks that I've been to, and they're okay, but they're not unique. Kansas City, did a good job on the rebuild. And of course, the Cardinal stadium is really nice. I've been to, to three Cardinal stadiums, but they're nothing. Kansas City they've done really well with what they have, but there's not a lot of pizzazz, to Kansas City. And I don't know that I'm a fan of them trying to get a park downtown. The parking and the egress from there would be a disaster, I would think.
Well, before we let you go, tell us who wins the whole thing in baseball postseason.
Whole thing in baseball. Oh. I'm going to go with Philadelphia Phillies.
And why?
Good pitching, even though they lost Wheeler. Kyle Schwarber is a beast. I think Harper will show up big time in the playoffs. Trey Turner, Realmuto. They've got a good supporting cast. Baum, Stott, Marsh. They're pretty good. And the big thing for them is when they got Duran as a relief pitcher when he came in. He's right now probably the best relief pitcher in baseball.
You've got the number 1 overall pick in your fantasy draft next year. Judge or Ohtani? Where are you going?
I probably don't want the first or second pick. If it's a daily league, and I think Ohtani is healthy enough to pitch, I would probably pick Ohtani. Probably wouldn't pick Judge. I think Judge is due for an injury-filled year. He's been healthy 2 years in a row, and I think he may not be next year. Bobby Witt's still a great pick too. So,
yeah. If I told you Dan Evans was 8-0 in our fantasy football listener league, would you be surprised, or was that right on par? What you would think would happen?
Well, I'd ask if Laura's helping him with the picks.
Okay, that's all the time we've got, Jim.
Hey, Jim, we appreciate it. Let's bring you back and talk more baseball, okay?
All right, sounds great. I enjoyed it.
Thanks, guys. You bet.
See you, Jim.
Jim Horton. And I, it just dawned on me, Dan, that you and I and Jim, Greg Sewell, Denzel, Rod Tao, who else was in that? Steve Hartman. Remember Steve Hartman that was Horton's?
Yep.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean,
Oh,
and
it was.
Murph, we did this where literally we sat by the mailbox waiting for the report to come
Oh,
via
yeah.
U.S. Postal Service. Yeah.
Hey,
Have to get
fantasy leagues were tough back there. These kids these days, it's so easy now. But
Yeah. Well, and
I've never done baseball.
Jim's got a great point too, that, with these drafts now, that every one of them, whether it's Yahoo or Sleep or whatever, you don't really have to follow it because that average draft position ranking and the line that shows when your pick's coming up, somebody can just look for somebody they like and know they're getting a pretty good player because they're being drafted in that range.
Right.
And so that's really changed it. There are settings like in Sleeper where you can turn that off, the ADP, and you either have to set them alphabetical or something else and go find your players. Boy, that would make for some long drafts if you did
It would.
that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's segue to the sports betting and then finish with fantasy real quick. Last weekend, college football, the two marquee games, Bama went in and beat Georgia 24-21. I was surprised. What about you guys?
Not
Go
me.
ahead, Randy.
No, that was my late night or one of my first night at the Nugget playing, and I bet a random guy. I still have his phone number in my phone. He goes, "I'll give you Alabama." I think he gave me 55. He owes me 105, and I went ahead and paid him up front. So now I've got to go collect 105 from a stranger from Vegas. But
It just sounds like a normal Murph trip there. Doesn't it?
yeah, typical bet.
Oregon goes in and gets out of Penn State with a 30-24 overtime win. That was a great game to watch down the end. Arkansas gets absolutely boat raced by Notre Dame 56-13, so much so that it cost Sam Pittman his job 2 days later. Bobby Petrino is now the interim head coach. Your guys' thoughts on, does he get the job at the end of the season, or do you think it's just a placeholder?
I'm going to say placeholder, but could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was going to be his, but I have a friend or two down there that knows Arkansas football, and I think they're saying just finish out the year with him.
He's got to be late 60s, mid 60s to late 60s.
I would think so.
Mid 60s.
Yeah. And given how hard recruiting is now with the portal and everything else, I don't want to, preach age discrimination, but it seems like most schools, I could see Mike Gundy trying to throw his hat in the ring, after getting fired at Oklahoma State and just buzzing over to Arkansas. But
now, was Bobby the offensive coordinator there?
Yeah.
And how many points did they score Saturday?
Not very many. Yeah. And that's been one of the problems, is they've not done well offensively. They've got a great quarterback with that Taylor Green. If he would just learn to throw the ball before he falls to the ground, that's been a problem, holding it too long.
Back to Arkansas. Do they have any good-looking volleyball coaches still there?
I think he is barred from that side of the campus.
That may help him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Missouri State drops a close one at home to Western Kentucky, 27-22. I think the Bears were getting 3.5 or 4 in that one, and ended up not covering. This is really kind of a weak week in terms of key college games. Not a whole lot there that's really exciting. Going through the
Florida
schedule, Texas at Florida, 2:30 on Saturday. The Horns are a 6.5-point favorite on the road. It'll be interesting to see if Florida, they're 1-3. Their coach is about to get fired. How much urgency do they have, or do they just want to go ahead and get rid of him, and fall to 1-4? Vandy is 5-0. They're at Bama, which is 3-1, 2:30 kick. Alabama's favored by 10.5 at home. Vandy's got a quarterback that's in like his 10th year of college football or something. And
did we know Vandy was going to be this good?
Well, I think Vandy is the schedule's been kind to him so far, and I think this is where we find out a lot more about him. But that quarterback's really good. He's just been there for a while now, or been in college football for a while. Probably your marquee game is number 3 Miami at Florida State. The Canes are 4-0. Florida State's 3-1. Miami's a 4.5-point favorite on the road. That could be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Missouri State's idle this week. I know Arkansas is idle. I believe Mizzou may have a bye as well. So it's kind of a catch your breath and talk to your wife weekend. Get caught up again.
Take her to the casino.
Yeah, take her to the casino. NFL last week, the Chiefs squared their record at 2-2, made the Ravens look pretty bad, 37-20 at Arrowhead. He's got an injury, but Lamar Jackson kind of quit on him, I thought, a little bit in that one too. I don't know if you watched that, Murph, while you were out in Vegas, but
It was going on the same time. I didn't see one play from that game.
I think I sent Randy some texts during that game about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Did he?
I thought he played horrible. I thought his attitude was
He just pouted, didn't he? Kind
Yeah.
of went to the bench and
Yes.
pouted. Yeah.
I was disappointed in the way he acted.
That was the best Patrick Mahomes game I've seen in probably a season and a half, in terms of throwing the ball downfield and basically saying, get on my shoulders, here we go. Because they still don't have a running game. They're still 2 weeks away from Rashee Rice completing his suspension. Xavier Worthy looked good coming back. That was a big plus for him.
To me, it looked like Worthy picked him up a little bit, gave him a little energy.
Absolutely. Bears rally to beat the Raiders 25-24 in Vegas. Murph was there. Ashton Genty broke out, which was good for you to see, wasn't it, Murph?
Yeah, I called that out there. There was a kid sitting in front of me with a Genty jersey on. As soon as I got there, I said, he's going for 145 and 2 touchdowns today. And so I was close. So I think he went maybe 140 and 3 touchdowns. So yeah. He's good. I'm telling you, our offensive line is so bad, but that kid's he's got the juice to get through if you give him a gap, and he'll break tackles. So I think he's going to be good. He's not a bust, in my opinion.
The Sunday night football game, Cowboys and Packers wind up in a 40-40 tie. I went to bed when it was like 24-20 or something, so I missed all that at the end. But kind of an uprising by Dak and the Cowboys against a pretty good Packers defense there. We come into week 5. The Bills and the Eagles are the only unbeaten teams at 4-0. Usually by this time there's seems like 4 or 5 unbeatens, but only the Bills and the Eagles. NFL this week, Niners at the Rams tomorrow night. The Niners have literally nobody left. They've already ruled out Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, and Jennings, the receiver, all already ruled out. Rams
and they're all on my team, and I play you. So
yeah, I like that. Rams are a 7.5-point home favorite. I would take every bit of that and bet the Rams to cover because it's going
to go way up. That'll be 10 by kickoff.
Your Vegas Raiders are at Indy. The Colts are a 6.5-point favorite. 47.5 is the over/under. That could be a shootout, couldn't it?
It could be. Our defense has been playing well. Max had a great game, and I'm happy with the defense. I really don't know what'll happen. Danny Dimes, he's a quarterback. So, and has he had a letdown yet? Really?
Not really. I mean, he's been pretty steady for 4 weeks there, so
I mean, I don't know if we can keep up with him.
The Broncos at the Eagles. Philadelphia is a 3.5-point favorite at home. That's 2 teams that ought to be in the playoffs when it's all said and done. Sunday night game are the Patriots at the Bills. Bills are favored by 7.5. That could be a little closer, I think, because Drake May and the Patriots, that they got some juice in them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, the Chiefs at the Jaguars. Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite on the road. 46.5 is the over/under there. That could wind up being a little bit of a shootout on the road, I would think, too. I'd take the over on that one. A reminder from fantasy standpoint, Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh are all on buys this week. It's the first week of buys. There is another annoying 8:30 a.m. Sunday game to get your lineup in. The Vikings and the Browns play. The Warren guy for Pittsburgh, running back, looked like he was going to play. Then he's an inactive. That cost a lot of people that didn't wake up in time to get him out of their lineups on Sunday morning. So if you got anybody on the Vikings or the Browns, you might want to do that.
Set an alarm.
Exactly. We'll close with some fantasy notes here. Some of the news makers. Joe Flacco is out. Dylan Gabriel in as the starting QB for the Browns. Romeo Doubs had 3 touchdowns for the Packers. You can go find him on your waiver wire, but they're on a bye this week, so it won't do you any good this week. The Jackson Dart era began in New York. Giants were okay with him, I thought. Big thing there was losing Malik Neighbors for the season with an ACL. Huge loss. Big weekend of injuries. Lamar Jackson with the ankle. Trey Benson with the knee. They find out today he's going on the IR for 4 weeks. He had just taken the job because James Conner is out for the year. Bucky Irving, some mystery about that. He's got an ankle injury and a shoulder injury. They say he could play. There was talk that he might be out several weeks, so that's good. I think, Dan, you've got him in our league, don't
I've got him, and I've got my other running backs are off this week. So
yeah,
Good.
Tyreek Hill is done probably for life after that knee injury. They say he may miss all of next year. I just don't see him coming back, at 33 or whatever he would be at that point. And we
No, the
mentioned
speed will be gone.
the big fantasy waiver wire pickup this week was Woody Marks, the Houston Texans rookie running back. He's looked good, particularly this last weekend. Nick Chubb just looks like he's lost 3 steps, not just a step. And so I think Marks can run with that job. Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson of the Giants receivers, they were big hot pickups because of neighbors going down. And Jackson Dart likes to throw the ball downfield too. So see if those guys are out there. Ravens, give Derrick Henry the damn ball. The guy's a beast. And he carried, 8 times, I think, in Kansas City. A game script kind of did him away for a while, but he's not getting nearly enough touches. I think with if Lamar doesn't play and Cooper Rush is the quarterback, I think Derrick Henry is in for about a 20-25 carry game maybe this weekend. A couple other notes. Jake Browning is terrible. The Bengals need to trade for anybody. Russell Wilson is rotting away on the Giants bench now. He would be good to at least get into Cincinnati, because if you own Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you're crying every weekend right now, as bad as that is. Jaden Daniels says he will play this Sunday. He sat out last week for the Commanders with a sprained knee. And then we mentioned Rashee Rice, 2 more games left in his suspension. See what he can do when he comes back. So anything planned this weekend? Dan, you going anywhere or not?
Got a volleyball tournament all day Saturday at Rolla.
Okay. Murph, you got a casino trip?
I'm not sure if I'm going yet, but tomorrow starts a $400 buy-in, $30K guaranteed downstream. I think you have 3 shots to qualify for that. So I may do that, or may just watch football and rest, because I'm a little worn out from the weekend.
Yeah. Well, and if you run into Jay Stevens down there, film it, because we want to see what happens there.
Okay.
So,
Well, okay.
yeah. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition. Thanks to our guests, Jay Stevens, Jim Horton. Appreciate them joining us. We will see you next week on Ozarks Gambling Gurus.